but I've spent more time depressed and anxious in my midlife season than I ever did in my previous seasons. Those were not the two words that I felt then. I don't know what they were. They were probably overwhelmed and angry. But these things that we're feeling right now are really because we just don't have the hormones to help us handle these. So we've got to figure out, okay, what is a different way to do this? Gaining belly fat in perimenopause and menopause, even while eating trim healthy and doing all the right things? Feeling exhausted, inflamed, and so done with the scale? Hey, I'm Chris Honeycutt, Jesus follower, trim healthy coach, and your midlife hype girl. I believe God didn't design you to live stuck, bloated, or burned out. This podcast helps you partner with your hormones, ditch the belly fat, and finally feel strong, calm, and confident in a body you actually enjoy living in. Hey friend, just popping in with a quick reminder, if you're ready to finally turn on fat burning in midlife, I want to invite you to join me inside the Midlife Fat Loss Formula. This is my 6-month group coaching program where we walk through 5 hormone smart steps. Smart nutrition that supports metabolism, movement that fits your busy life, blood sugar balance to reduce cravings, mindset tools to stay on track, systems that help you to turn on fat burning for good. You don't have to overthink it or do it alone. Come take a peek at what it's all about. bit.ly/join fat loss formula. That's bit.ly/join fat loss formula. Grab your sipper and let's go. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Menopause Makeover. It is your honey nugget time, which means I'm going to be giving you some honey nuggets, sweet wisdom on how to deal with fatigue, how to deal with your depleted, low energy levels, low motivation, and you still have to show up for yourself. What is happening in this midlife season where our energy seems to be just fleeting? If you've been walking around in a fog lately, dragging yourself out of bed or reaching for coffee just to make it through the afternoon slump, or feeling like no matter how much you rest, you're still exhausted, friend, trust me, you are not alone. Midlife, perimenopause, and menopause can hit like a tidal wave when it comes to energy. And the truth is, it's not just about age. It is about hormones, stress, and self-care, how we care for ourselves in this season. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay depleted. Today, I am sharing how to rebuild energy from the inside out so that you can get back to feeling vibrant, steady, and more like you. First, let's talk about why do energy levels plummet in menopause? Here's what I'm always going to say. I'm going to blame all this on hormones. However, there's a lot of players in the game. There's lots of puzzle pieces here, but I'm going to say hormones really are a big crux of the problem. We are having a hormonal shift. We are in a transition. And how can your body hit on all cylinders if it is working something out, if it's trying to transition from one state of being to another? Your body wants to maintain homeostasis. And so when there are things that are, I guess, maybe on the low side, your body is going to try to bring yourself back into that place of balance. And not to mention, there are other things that are probably vying for your energy. So on a physiological level, I will say that the hormone shift that's happening, estrogen and progesterone are decreasing, and those regulate our sleep, our metabolism, our mood. They really affect a lot of different things in our life. Our adrenals sometimes are just so taxed. So basically, when your ovaries stop making estrogen, your adrenals take over and they start to make a little bit of estrogen. Not really enough, but they're working really hard to make estrogen. And if your adrenals are already taxed, they're already spent, you're already in a depleted phase with those adrenals, it's actually going to deplete you even more. That's years of stress, caregiving, busy schedules, and this was me, Your adrenals have been pumping out cortisol like crazy. If I could look back and tell my 30-something self something, it would be, girl, you cannot do it all. You do not have to do it all. You do not have to be super broad. Please take care of yourself. I would write her a letter and give her so many ideas of why and how she does not have to take the role of everything's on me. I've got to do everything no matter what, and how to take care of herself. I would so do that, because my story is I, in my 30s, of course, lots of babies, lots of up in the night, health issues, homeschooling, all the things. And then my adrenals completely gave out. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't understand why I was calling my husband once a week with a meltdown. I, at some point in time, could not even do the dishes. I couldn't even handle the things that were on my plate. And I just cried, and I sought out practitioners, and I reached out to Pearl and Serene, and we were kind of all in different, kind of a similar season. But that time when I was just burning the candle at both ends, there were things I could have done differently, but I just didn't know. I had no idea that I was taking from myself. And so if you get to that point, your adrenals are on overload, your body takes over, not your brain, but your body. And so that was a little rabbit trail there. But the other thing that happens in this season, you guys, ladies, friends, sisters, is that mitochondrial function slows down. Our mitochondria, think about those as the powerhouse in your cell. That is your energy. It's called ATP. That actually starts to slow down and get less efficient with age because of the decline of hormones and all those other puzzle pieces that we're going to be talking about. Then, of course, we have the lifestyle issues, skipping meals, sugar crashes, fasting, crazy diets, poor sleep, over exercising, all the things. So why are you somewhat depleted? I think that's a good list right there. And some of you might be able to relate to me on that. Well, let's talk about this. So how do we start rebuilding energy? And what can we do without feeling the hustle, without feeling like I have one more plate to spin? I'm going to challenge you in this, because I'm going to ask you to take some things off your plate. I'm going to ask you to take care of yourself in a way that you probably never have. And I didn't learn this until it was my lifeline to health. Sadly, I kind of have to learn the hard way. I don't know why. Maybe I can save you guys by telling you what to do now, but just like our kids, will you do it? Or maybe just investigate it. How about that? Maybe just ask yourself these questions. So one thing, or actually one area that we want to focus on, that it's so easy to give up our space, to give up our power in the space, because we're tired. So we don't have the energy to get ready for ourselves. We don't have the energy to think about how to nourish our body. But this is the key. We have to find a priority here to nourish the body. The body is depleted. What it needs is nourishment. And a lot of times, I know we don't feel like we can do that. So here are some basic things to start with. And take this list. Take this as a checklist. Start with the first one, which is protein. And if you've got that in place, let's go to the next one. But do not try to implement all these things. But I will say this. I want you to pick 2 things from this podcast that you are going to implement for yourself to help fill your cup, to refuel your body. So the first thing, of course, is protein. Protein is so important to us in midlife, 20 to 30 grams of protein. So we're going to look at animal protein. We're going to look at plant proteins. We're going to look at Greek yogurt and cottage cheese and those types of protein. We're going to look at protein powders, collagen, essential amino acids, optimized protein powder. These are helpers to us. I get it if you can't afford it, or if it doesn't do you well, I get it. We're going to have to figure out how to do this and eat our protein. But it's never been easier than it is today to get our protein in. And it is very important for us to nourish our body, to have a foundation, a base. That protein is going to give that to us. Next, We got to do plants, ladies. It's the plant kingdom. If you were like, I don't even know how to do a diet or what to do, protein and plants, the plant kingdom. I'm talking about all the plants, the fruits, the vegetables, the nuts, the seeds, all of that. If you just did those two things, you are doing fabulous. If you are cutting out those packaged foods, the foods that are inflammatory, and you just do protein and plant kingdom, that is a win. You will see results with that. But if you can take it to another step or another level, we want to make sure you're nourishing your body with smart carbs. If you want energy, let's talk carbohydrates. Low glycemic carbohydrates that are whole foods, they are going to help you. They are going to give you the energy, the glucose. You need some glucose. We are depleted, so we are going to need the energy. So we need the brown rice and the oats and the sweet potatoes and the fruits. And we need those with protein and we need those with a little bit of fat. But those carbs are going to really, really help your thyroid hormones, metabolism, and even create some serotonin for yourself. I don't know about you, but I've spent more time depressed and anxious in my midlife season than I ever did in my previous seasons. Those were not the two words that I felt then. I don't know what they were. They were probably overwhelmed and angry. But these things that we're feeling right now are really because we just don't have the hormones to help us handle these. So we've got to figure out, okay, what is a different way to do this? I want to talk to the woman who's wondering if it's just too late. If you've been thinking, well, I guess this is just how it's going to be from now on, maybe I'll never feel strong or lean again. I want to speak directly to you. It is not too late, my friend. Your body is not broken. You just need a plan that works with your hormones, your metabolism, and your real life. That's why I built the Midlife Fat Loss Formula. It is my 6-month group coaching program where we walk step by step through the exact things your body needs to shift back in to fat burning mode. You'll learn how to eat in a way that fuels you, how to move in a way that actually works, and how to create sustainable habits that last beyond the 6 months. It's not about perfection. It's about progress that sticks. Women like Michelle and Anita are seeing major shifts, not just on the scale, but in their labs, in their confidence, and even their strength. So if you've been needing that nudge to take the next step, this is it. Come on over to bit.ly/join fat loss formula. That's bit.ly/join fat loss formula. I would love to support you inside. Next, believe it or not, when we're talking about energy, if you are dehydrated, you are going to have low energy levels. And this is a biggie. Hydration is very important. How much? Here's the guideline. Half your body weight in ounces, your healthy body weight in ounces. That can be sippers. That can be herbal tea. That can be pure water. But we want to make sure that we're getting that hydration. The times that I've been very, hyper vigilant with my hydration, I have noticed more energy and better skin and just an overall feeling better overall. So these things seem very basic, but do you have them dialed in? Okay, the next thing I'm going to say is movement and exercise in this season is going to look different than when you were younger. More is not better, and especially when you're in a low energy state. So here is what you want to shoot for. We want to get everyday movement. If you aren't getting any movement during the day, you're going to have lower energy levels. If you're getting too much movement, you're going to be depleted. So there's this sweet spot with movement, and everybody is falling into a different space with this. We want to shoot for gentle movement, and we want to shoot for strength training. I'd say that's the bottom line. That's the two things. If you're not doing anything, everyday movement is first, then you're going to bring in strength training. Once you get that dialed in, 6, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, or longer, then maybe we can add some other things. But if you are doing too much exercise, too much movement, it is going to deplete you. We actually need more recovery in this season. And that brings me to the next topic, and that is, are you resting and recovering? So as far as weight training, we really need at least 2 times a week of lifting weights. Are you doing more than that? Do you have the energy for more than that? Do you think doing more is better? How do you feel after your workout? These are some good questions to ask yourself. With recovery, I need so much more recovery now than I ever did. And it maddens me. I really don't like it because I have always been the type person that can go, like the Energizer Bunny and just more. But you know what? That never served me in the past anyway. Every time I did that, I always ended up hurting myself and I hurt my adrenals and I didn't know it. It was just this mentality of more is better. And actually, less is best in the menopausal season, and restore before more is the motto. And I have found so much healing in restore before more. When we are really low or depleted and low energy, you may need more recovery. More recovery might look like you do a strength workout on Monday and Thursday, and maybe the other days you're walking, or you do a 5-minute rebounding. Maybe some days or some weeks when you're very low energy, you do a very short strength training session during the week, and then you do a longer one on the weekend. So when I'm coaching ladies, I really take a look at where they are in their fitness level, where they are in their energy, and of course in their hormonal season. And we come up with a plan that is best for you, that is going to progress. That's great. We're going to be doing more if we need to. Or a lot of times I'm pulling ladies back and I'm saying, let's do less. And it's serving them because we're figuring out, okay, what does this midlife body need right now? Do I need more? Do I need to restore? Do I need less? So take a look at your schedule. Is your life like an exercise workout? Are you just exhausted at the end of the day? We need to interrupt that with some times throughout the day where you are recovering and you are restoring. This is a huge, huge topic. Very difficult for a lot of us to figure out how to fit this in because we think, oh, I have to do this. And I'm watching my grandkids and I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this. And I want to say to you, yes, there are non-negotiables, but there are some other things that you could do. You can sneak some time in there for you. And sometimes we're just tired. We just don't know what to do. We don't know how to do it. Or we're just making excuses, which I've done before. Or we haven't realized the benefit. There is much more benefit to attending to that recovery time and actually attending to your spirit. There's much more progress in that realm than it is all the striving and all the things, trying to get all the things in, all the plates spinning in that practical and natural realm. Now, there are supplements out there, and I have to say, I am a supplement junkie. I have just had to say, Chris, stop ordering things. It's because I'm always wanting to find things that work to help me and help people. It really is, it comes from a very good place, but on the bank account and also the amount of products that I have used, and I'm like, I can't even tell the difference. It just is something, it's just an issue for me. So I'm going to tell you some overall things that are scientifically proven and I know that are going to help with their energy levels. There may be some supplements out there that people swear by, and I am not going to go down that rabbit hole, but I want to make sure that you have all the nutrients that you need. That really is a big thing. A lot of times our depletion is because we're low in B vitamins, we're low in vitamin D, we're not getting omega-3s. These are just basic supplements that we need. So I'm just going to give you a quick list of this. Things that can help you support your cells and support your body and support your energy levels. Magnesium. We need magnesium for over 300 functions in our body, and a lot of times we are deficient in this. So we want to look for nutrient deficiencies. You can get tested for this. You can get tested for your vitamin D levels. You can get tested for micronutrients, which is going to show where you're deficient. I think that's a great idea. Magnesium is important because it's going to help your nervous system. It's going to help you sleep. Like I said, it is important for over 500, I think, different functions in our body. So if you are not on magnesium, I would suggest a magnesium glycinate. The magnesium citrate is more for bowel regulation, and it does impact the nervous system, but not as efficiently as a magnesium threonate or glycinate. Those are going to be a better choice of magnesium. Omega-3s, we all need omega-3 for our brain, for our hormones, for our joints. Most of us are not getting fish. I get lots of fish, but I still need omega-3s. So that's going to be a supplement that is one of those non-negotiable, definitely need to be on those omega-3s. It also helps tremendously with inflammation, which is something that a lot of us are dealing with, which also pulls from those energy stores. B vitamins can be very helpful for energy. B complex, make sure it's methylated. B12, make sure it's methylated. These are usually tested by your doctor. I rarely see high levels of B12 unless somebody is taking too much. I rarely see that, but I have seen that when I'm looking at clients' blood work. But those B vitamins are your stress vitamins. They are going to help you. And also, if you have the MTHFR genetic SNP, you're going to need help with methylation. And those B vitamins help with methylation. We can also look at adaptogens. These are beautiful. They're wonderful. I love how God put adaptogens. Adaptogens are plants that go into our body and help our body do what it needs to do. Like, how brilliant is that? So there's some good adaptogens such as ashwagandha or rhodiola. And there are some contraindications with these with anything you're going to take, any herb, any supplement, anything like that. You really want to read up on it. You want to look at the contraindications if you're taking other meds. But these adaptogens can be helpful with energy levels. And before I talk about the last one, I'm going to say that two things for me that I have noticed, this is personal, what I've been doing is beetroot powder and also the Trim Healthy Dynamic Duo Greens. When I added those into my routine, I noticed an uptick in my energy levels. And I basically just mix all of that with essential amino acids and down it goes. It's a shot. It's 4 ounces. It does not taste wonderful, but I tell you, I notice a difference in my energy levels when I'm using those. Lastly, the most studied supplement right now, you're probably going to see it everywhere, is creatine. So creatine can help with your muscle recovery, muscle building, cognition, and also helps with your energy levels. So if you can utilize some creatine every day, 5 milligrams, throw that in there with your smoothie, with your coffee, with your tea, whatever you can throw it in. There's no flavor to it, at least the one that I get. And 5 milligrams every single day can really help with the energy levels, and not to mention your muscle recovery and building muscle. So lastly, I can't leave this conversation without talking about spiritual rest and where our renewal comes from. So yes, there's a physical part that we play a part in. We participate in that. And then there is a spiritual part. And so I love Isaiah 40. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. So sometimes, maybe in the middle of things, you can turn to the scripture, you can turn to the Lord, and you can say, Lord, you are my renewal. You are the energy that flows in my veins. I am leaning into you. I am resting into you. If you don't know what to do, deep breathe and press in to the God who renews you. And we also want to partner with him in that practical sense as well. Did you know that I have a free community of women in midlife just like you? Busy women who are working hard to lose weight with the Trim Healthy plan but feel hijacked by hormones and unexplained weight gain. I share menopause tips, superfood spotlights, delicious recipes, and so much more. Come join us at facebook.com/groups/get your trim on.